Back when I was just a little girl, I had no idea that this man standing in front of me would one day become my husband. I stared at him suspiciously and asked why he was there. He told me he was a time traveler from the future. Before he could finish explaining, he said he had to go, and just like that, he vanished right before my eyes. The next day, I was playing on the lawn like I always did, and there he was again. I wasn't surprised. It was like I knew all along he'd come back. That's how we slowly became good friends. During my senior year of college, I ran into him at the library. I walked up and called out his name, but he just looked at me like he had no clue who I was. That's when it hit me this was the same timeline version of him. Even though I knew he wasn't the one who had traveled through time, I couldn't help myself and asked him to dinner anyway. Looking at that familiar face, I couldn't resist reaching out to touch him. Eventually, we fell in love and got married. Right after the wedding, we suddenly heard a noise outside. He went to open the door and came face to face with his older self. The future version of him had been shot in the stomach and was bleeding badly. Before he could even process what was happening, his future self disappeared. One day, a little girl stopped him on the street. She said, "Dad, I'm your daughter. Just like you, I'm a time traveler too." He was overjoyed, but then he remembered his future self who'd been shot, so he asked her, "How old were you when I left?" She looked down and stayed quiet for a long time before finally saying 5. When her time was up, she disappeared. Soon after, our child was born. We were there for her as she grew up, never missing a single moment. But the day he'd been dreading most finally came. He suddenly traveled through time and found himself in a snowy field. Standing next to him was a massive reindeer. Before he could figure out what was happening, the reindeer got spooked and bolted. A gunshot rang out and he collapsed in the snow.